Welcome back. Dr. Jennifer Boney here, better known as DocJenFit, with one of my besties, Moshkan, who's going to demonstrate plank positioning for us, because what I hear happens so often is that the low back starts to take over a lot of load. And people just feel so uncomfortable in planks. And you know, when we're supposed to feel our front of our core, not the back of our core, the front, right into our abdominal region, maybe even in our shoulders, we don't want to overcompensate or start cheating in the exercise. So we're going to make sure that our form and everything is good, and then show you how you can modify, even maintaining this really good form. And remember, anytime we modify a movement, it's not bad. It doesn't mean that we're regressing. I modify movements all the time. It just means that we want to be more focused and intentional on the purpose of what we're trying to do the movement for. So let's break down the plank real quick, because a lot of people end up getting into a plank just from their feet, right? So can you show the typical on your elbows? Yep. Typical into a plank. Maybe the bottom goes really high. There we go. Or we sink into the low back. So these are two common things. The most common, I think, is kind of seeing that bottom go a little bit higher than the shoulders, or having that sinking start to happen in the low back, both of which can start to take over a lot of pressure into that low back. So instead of starting from your feet, I'd rather you start from your elbows. And I actually have a video detailing this setup for a proper plank in way more detail. So we'll link that up somewhere above so that you can check out that previous video of really the details of getting into this plank. We're just going to kind of go over it. But so the elbows will go back just a tiny bit more than you think. You were going to start by pressing those elbows down into the ground and pressing the shoulder blades away from the spine. That is the start. Already we're going to start to kind of lift into that rib cage. And then as that rib cage lifts, then we're going to tuck that tailbone and squeeze those glutes. So it's not necessarily a rounding in the back, but it's a pressing from those shoulder blades, getting that pelvis in alignment with that rib cage. And you feel that core working? You'll feel it working even on your knees. You can be on your knees and still feel really good core work, okay? If you can then say, I can tolerate this without it moving, then you can go up onto your feet and extend your knees. But there is no movement here. Her bottom doesn't go higher and it doesn't sink lower. So if this is too difficult and you want to be out in that extended position, getting some quad strength along with everything else along the way, well, then an easy way to change it up is just to elevate the surface, where you can still be in this really good plank. And we're just going to show elevating the surface. So you're going to go into the same setup, elbows up onto a higher surface. She's going to press from the shoulder blades and then come up onto the feet. Good. So tuck just tiny bit, squeezing in those glutes, pulling that rib cage down and pressing the shoulders away. What you're going to feel here is an intense contraction into those the front of the abdominal region. And every time you breathe out nice and slowly, because you shouldn't be holding your breath, right? I want an even deeper contraction, even greater push from the shoulder blades, squeezing in those glutes, squeezing in those quads. This is a full body exercise when we're really doing it right. And what you won't feel, though, is any pressure into your low back. Don't forget, if you love what you're learning, I have so much more in stock for you. So hit that subscribe button, check out the other videos I've done in the past, and leave any comments of any suggestions that you have for videos in the future. And I can't wait to help you feel incredible and amazing within your body.